Greetings from the Shrouded Realities podcast. I am Joey with Connor, Steven, and Ruby, the podcast dog, and we are here to bring you news of aliens. We're going to talk about the aliens, where they come from.
What are they even?
UFOs, abductions,
Probing.
maybe a little twist at the end. I got some theories. I got some alien theories.
He's got some things.
I got some alien things and theories that we're going to throw out. We're going to get deep into this one. Stick with us. It's going to be a fun ride.
That was an interesting choice of words.
Yep.
Fun
Can't
ride.
say that.
Can't
No,
say fun
before
ride?
that.
That's
No,
not
before
it.
that.
What did I say that?
The D word.
You know what? Let's just move
Yeah,
past it.
go for
Everybody else knows what we're talking about.
I'm going to catch that and edit.
Yep. You're going to be like, dang
That's
it.
what it was.
We're getting deep in this subject. He has no idea.
Getting
Yeah.
deep,
Yeah.
deep in
Ah,
probes.
there it
Aliens
is.
probe ya. That's it.
There it is.
What is the obsession with that?
With aliens probing people?
Yeah.
I've got some theories on that.
Why can't they just
share it
ask
to-
you questions?
We'll share it to the
I feel
why
like that's
can't
less intrusive.
Maybe they think that's how we talk. Maybe our farts are they like strange noise coming out of his butthole.
I was going to make a fart sound, but that'd be too much. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. All right.
Well, where do you guys want to start? This is okay. So coming in, I was a little like, this might be.
Yeah.
So so to start, the reason we brought this up, we've got 3 or 4 little creatures on our logo, and
Yeah.
we're 15, 14 episodes in,
Mm-hmm.
and we
It's
haven't
like-
talked about
yeah.
a single one.
We
of them.
haven't even
Which I
discussed any of
like.
them.
I like not diving straight into it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
like
not
that.
that's not what we're about. It's just
Yeah,
a
it's
cool,
just
cool
another little-
imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than anything. That's just
Yeah.
a cool thing.
Do you want to
It
get a
looks
shout
awesome.
out? Who made that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Matt. Thanks, man.
Matt
Matt
hooked us
Childers.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he hooked us up. He's the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some.
You know what's interesting? That all those things on the logo are maybe connected to each other. So
That's what's.
You say stop.
I
I'm
know,
saving
I
this
know.
for the
I'm
end.
just
I'm
putting
saving it for the
I'm
end.
putting a little nut mustard
So,
seed right
so
there.
what y'all
Alright.
didn't know is episode 1 is going to tie into episode
All of them.
whatever this is, 14,
And everything in between.
and maybe episode 5,
Yeah.
and possibly episode, what was it? Was that 8, 9?
Yeah.
9?
And the one that
So-
just released this week, I think it was 10.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, big circle here.
Yeah.
Big
Pretty
one.
cool.
It's all gonna tie together.
Yep.
Let's start with aliens or UFOs. Where do you want to go first?
You,
I feel like UFOs. I feel like
Yeah.
more people have seen UFOs and aliens in quotation marks, like
Well,
walking
yeah.
beings. You know,
let's define UFOs a little bit,
Yeah.
because anything flying in the sky that you don't know what it is
Yeah.
technically
a
an
bird could be
unidentified flying object.
a bird could be one. I don't
So
know.
what's the definition of UFOs?
Unidentified flying object. So let's
Yeah,
talk
okay.
about that too. Why did the government all of a sudden decide to change the name of it? Which is a little fishy.
Did they?
UAPs, yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
I knew I should have looked it up.
Unidentified
Aerial.
probing.
Ew, the A words.
Unidentified.
You said aerial, and I'm like, all right, he
Yeah.
saved me here.
yeah.
This is a big word. I'm going to concentrate on this one. Unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
Ooh,
That sounds more spooky than
It does.
flying
It does.
object.
That's what the government
little
and NASA.
terrifying.
This was NASA's definition of.
All right,
Yeah.
throw all this
UAP.
out.
Why
NASA's-
even make
come on.
words if they want to
Yeah.
hide this? Why do they even make words like that?
Unidentified UAP. Well, because
Yeah.
they're starting
Why
to
can't
say
it,
it's.
why can't it just be an enemy aircraft instead of just a?
That's scarier.
an enemy aircraft?
I don't know. I mean, at least you know who the enemy is, kind of. But if you say UAP or UFO, it's like
Yeah, that's a little too. It's a little too vague, and I understand that I'm saying
Yeah.
that that's too vague when we're using whatever this
Right.
word was.
right.
But enemy could be whoever your current enemy is at the moment.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
it's-
because we're idiots,
yes,
Big
we're gonna
time.
say UFO. It's a whole lot
Yeah.
easier.
And
Sorry,
it's-
sorry, NASA.
it
you're
just
too-
sounds cooler too.
the
Yeah.
UAP.
UAP. UAP. The unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
Yeah.
UAP.
UFO.
Get out of here, nerds. I mean,
Yeah,
We're the
that's
nerds, I
so
guess.
Yeah, we are.
We are talking
Yeah.
about aliens.
We're the
and
guys
we've
sitting
got
here having the
tinfoil hats.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Coming into this discussion, like I didn't realize the alien thing was laying dormant. Like I kind of lost interest in it for
I
a
did too.
long time,
Mhm.
and I just had like this weird. When we was looking at it, I was like, There's more here than I thought there was.
I've always just had the this is bullcrap.
Yeah.
That's where I've been with
it's
it.
fake. Whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the mass psychosis
could be.
plug for a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
All right, and episode 11.
Yeah, so there was a lot of commentary I seen on that about what we're being fed to numb us up to what we don't know and what we're not supposed to know.
Yet
Yeah.
again, I think it brings in everybody you look at that is talking about aliens has weird hair, looks like they smell bad,
Doesn't have a job.
a little bit crazy. So
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You don't even want to give it your time because you look at them, you're like, all right, whatever. I'll
Am
go
I,
with
the,
that.
am I the only one that wants to fight the ancient aliens guy?
I don't necessarily want to fight him.
I do.
I
You don't get up and put your hair like that on purpose
He does.
and think it's okay. I'm going
Yeah.
to go on TV with
No,
that
he
hair.
looked at that and he went, "That's what I'm going for right there."
He's probably an alien.
He could be.
That's his hair sticking up
There's
because
some-
the
there's some
electromagnets
theories.
going on,
Yeah, there's some theories with that aliens are
controlling
a
the
lot of us are drones that have been plugged with alien information.
Probed with
Yeah,
alien?
probed with alien information, intelligence gathering stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But
Let's file that away for a later
Let's put that in the
conversation.
drawer.
I don't even want to go there. That was just one of the kooky things I heard.
Well,
while
I think it
researching.
could tie in a certain way
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to the giving knowledge, possibly.
Mhm.
So before
That happened at a certain point in history too.
Yeah.
So before we
Mm-hmm.
dive in, without giving too much information, like just a quick synopsis of like your belief in aliens. Like, what do you think?
I can't go there without.
I
Right,
can't
right.
either.
I'm gonna go there till at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really either
Okay,
because
I was
I,
gonna
think,
s-
I think me and Joey are probably on the same wavelength
Yeah.
with this.
Mhm.
Probably you too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We're gonna wait till the end.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Okay.
don't want to give it away. It's a
Gotcha.
it's a teaser.
yeah. We're learning
Yeah.
things about podcasts. We're teasing.
Yeah,
we're
hey,
hooking.
guys.
We're
Hey
hooking
guys,
you.
we're getting really good at this. Let's
Open your mouth.
Let's tell you about the thing
Let's
we're
tell
gonna
you
do.
how good
Open
we
your
are.
mouth. I'm hooking you right in the cheek. All
Okay.
right.
That's all right.
So UFOs. Let's start with it. Let's start UFOs.
Yeah.
A lot of people seen them.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
I've got
20 million Americans.
I've got a little UFO story.
Oh,
I got one
Hmm.
you want to drop it real quick?
personal. Yeah.
Yeah. Make it
Tell
personal.
your story.
So where I lived when I was with my parents,
Yeah.
I had an upstairs apartment above our garage. Well, there was a window beside my bed, and I remember there's a tree line kind of off in the distance, pretty far off, but had my blinds open. I'm like, what in the world is that?
How old are you?
Probably 17. So
Okay.
not far from moving out, you
Yeah.
know.
Close to an adult.
Close to an adult. Well, I noticed there was 5 lights all in a straight line right across that tree line, which is weird. I've lived here my whole life, never thought anything of it. Well, I get out of the bed and I look, and I see one of the lights in the very middle of the 5, and this is spanning this entire tree line.
Okay.
One of the lights drop down, like it detaches, drops down. I see it span across the ground.
Nah.
Okay. I'm just telling you. I don't know what it was.
It's just a flare.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Uh,
So it spanned all the way across the ground. You can see it light up.
Like it's scanning
underneath.
something.
Yeah, kind of like a scan.
how far away was it?
It's hard to say. It was a distance. It was a pretty good ways away.
Like if you had a rifle, you think you could hit it?
Yeah, maybe.
400 yards.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably good.
Okay.
Well, I see it then after it scans the ground, it comes back up, gets in perfect line with the other lights.
Mhm.
And as soon as it locks back in line, all the lights go out. Didn't see anything else. It was gone. And I remember thinking, I can't tell somebody this because they're going to go, "You're absolutely crazy."
Did you have
Yeah.
to go? Did you have to go to dinner and like just bottle it up? Like you didn't just
Well-
see like the most craziest thing ever.
It was really weird. I don't remember. I was like, "What
Just
in
hop-
the world was that?"
Just hop back on Call of Duty and was like
But
Yeah.
plugging in.
I told myself, I was like, "You're crazy. This was probably just somebody's porch lights from a distance that I've never noticed in the
woods. In the woods.
in the woods." I noticed it for 17 other years, but I
Yeah.
noticed it now.
What kind of color was the lights?
It was kind of just like an incandescent top light. Like it wasn't.
Like a warm,
Yeah, it was just like a warm light.
but brightness.
Not super bright. I mean, it was bright, but not blinding or anything.
So
Like,
It was
there-
enough that I could see individual 5 lights across the sky.
Mhm.
Well, the weird part to me was when the other got in
It just
perfect line with everything. It was like it locked in off, instant. And I was like, what in the world was that? And I still can't explain to you
Did
what
you
it
even
was.
blink when you was watching it?
I don't think I did because it was like
wood.
How long do you think it was?
a minute. It wasn't long. It was
enough.
like, I mean,
Long enough to gather.
At that distance, how big was the light? Like would it like
man,
if you put your
guys
hand
are
up?
asking me like dimensions. I don't.
I know. I'm saying like if you like put your hand up, would it fit inside your hand?
I've never
at that
talked to
distance?
somebody that's seen a
I know.
UFO before.
I mean, if I closed one of my eyes and stuck my finger in front of the lights, it would have disappeared.
Okay. Okay.
Is that an accurate enough description? I
That
don't know.
works.
But yeah, that was a weird one. Still can't explain it today.
Never
Never
happened
seen it.
again.
No, never noticed. it
Has
again.
there been any videos that you've seen that kind of resembled that?
No, not really.
Really?
That's partially why I'm like, okay, I'm probably just crazy, and it's something very explainable,
Yeah.
but I still can't explain it. I
So
don't
one
know
of the
what it was.
stats that I heard, out of the 20 million people that think they've seen a UFO, 90% of them were easily explainable by something else.
Yeah. This
But
one,
that one's odd.
it was weird. I mean, it would be different if the next night I saw it and then 2 weeks later I saw it. I'd be like, okay, that's somebody's front porch or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because of the elevation of this house. So this house sits up on a hill.
Yeah.
It's way up. It would have had to have been in the sky for it to be over the tree line.
Mhm.
So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
And them trees are probably pretty tall.
And I know that area pretty well. I grew up in it,
Yeah.
and I don't know of anybody that lives in that kind of area.
Yeah.
Did you go check
So-
out the ground around it?
I
After?
didn't. No,
That'd
I
be
didn't.
cool.
You can walk in there
I
and
was
just
pretty much
fall
out.
to the ground.
Yeah.
I was pretty much out at that point. I was like, I don't know what this is, and I'm not messing with whatever it is.
Probably
Yeah.
a smart thing.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
So I've got one more, and I'll share it. And I'm not sure that I can attribute this to aliens,
Okay.
but it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's weirder than the other to me.
Yeah.
So
This is weird. Okay.
yeah,
Jeez.
so I had just moved out.
Mhm.
Me and the guy that I lived with at the time, we had people at our house every night. We were having some kind of shindig every night.
So you guessing early 20s.
Yeah, about early 20s.
Party phase.
Yeah, there was a time. But
Jaeger.
it really wasn't anything like that. We were just all standing outside, and that's what we did every night. Our house was incredibly small,
Mhm.
and that's just where you hung out.
Oh,
So we were in our carport, and we're surrounded by cow pasture where we lived. Well, the lady that owned the property had Black Angus cows, and she was proud of it. She was the most proud woman ever that every cow she owned was Black Angus cows.
mhm.
Well, we see a white cow walking around in the pasture, which happens because sometimes a cow just gets out and ends up in somebody else's pasture.
That's right.
Didn't think anything of it. 10 minutes go by. We're all hanging out, talking. We turn around and we're like, that's weird. There's like 3 cows surrounding this cow. But just like, whatever. Go back to doing our thing. 10 minutes probably goes by. We look again. There's like 20 cows in a circle, like white cow in the middle. Yes. It's one of the weirdest things. And I have people.
I'd rather commit a
I
hate
have-
crime on this cow.
It was so weird. We come back, every cow in the pasture in a circle around this white cow. And it is prominent. You can look at it and go, what in the world is going on here?
Never seen cows
A
do this.
Gregorian move.
Never. I've grown up
Yeah.
around cows. I've never seen cows swarm in a circle around another cow.
A moo pit.
It was a moo pit.
Stop it.
Like I said, I don't know if that's alien related or not. That's just a weird one that I wanted to throw out there and just go, what in the world was that?
Well, cows are.
I have people too on this one that I can.
You got witnesses.
I've got witnesses on that one. I don't on the other one.
So they say on Skinwalker Ranch, their UFO alien encounters mess with their cows.
Can they
Kill
shapeshift?
'em.
You think? You think aliens can shapeshift a little
You're
bit?
trying to get me to go there quick.
Yeah,
aren't you?
Let's
it's hard
pull
not
back
to.
a little bit. Let's
Kick-
stay
let's
on.
take it. Don't do it.
Could an alien be a cow? It's a cow alien. It's a cow alien.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Uh,
So that was one of my questions. So you said you've never seen anything lights like this on TV or film or
No, I
anything
haven't
anybody
seen
else
anything that
described it.
represents-
the only thing that I could relate that to is like drones, but then again, that's kind of odd to have
And what
Drones
year was this too?
Drones, I mean, I was 17. I'm 32 now, so y'all do the math on that. I don't
18.
know. I graduated in
15.
2010, so 2009.
Okay. Yeah. Drones,
Quick math, probably wrong.
Drones wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, drones probably existed, but not in
that
not in the
capacity.
area I lived, not
Yeah.
on the farmland that I lived on.
Did you hear about Steve Harvey in Atlanta?
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Somebody put drones above Atlanta in this with lights on them in the shape of Steve Harvey.
It was great.
with the mustache.
Oh, no, it was all of it.
Yeah, it was super pixelated, but you
Picture-
could tell it was Steve Harvey.
Picture Family Feud Steve Harvey
Yeah.
in the sky.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was great.
Naked grandma.
So that's that is gonna make this a little more difficult going forward. you know?
Well, there's been recent stuff that I've seen certain people post where it's like, look at this UFO up in the sky. And well, it's probably a freaking drone, man.
Yeah.
Like, those are pretty common.
Right.
The only close to an alien UFO encounter I've seen, I thought I seen, were the Starlink satellites going across the sky.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a little span of lights, and they were just like trailing each other pretty quick. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh crap, this is UFO. This is
Mhm.
awesome. I went and grabbed my kids.
A lot of people's had that
Yeah.
that issue.
Yeah. And
If you
go on-
look it up, there's
you
people
go on
all
Facebook, I
over.
just seen a UFO. And they're like, nope, Starlink.
I,
Yeah.
mean, I think Elon
Dang it.
Musk is an alien, but that's just me.
Lizard people.
He's something. You can't look like that and be normal. Just saying.
He's one of those Men in Black aliens. He's got an alien inside of him stretched over
Pull
So
a
over.
human.
So why do y'all think even like the quote unquote credible footage of UFOs, why do you think they're all different shape? You hear about triangle shape, you hear about
Actually,
flying saucer, you hear
on-
about tic tac.
On Wikipedia, which you can take this for it is, but there's a list of UFO sightings. I think it's like 20,000 they have listed from like 1900s to now.
Yeah.
And here's the shapes that have been recorded. So the main one is the orb shape,
Huh,
which
okay.
we can tie back to later how that connects to other things.
Yeah.
But then you got triangle shape, and next to that is the fireball, which
Okay.
the rest of them are kind of like tic tac, egg shape, disc shape. It's like a bunch of these could be ruled out of something else, I think, because I mean this is like 200 years worth of
Well,
seeing stuff.
Okay.
the Nazis during World War II were trying to figure out a wingless flight at that point too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of brings in some.
Could
we
be.
had a lot of the Nazis over here
So we could
doing all of our.
we could have developed these.
We could have
flying
developed these
ships.
things.
Yeah.
Now the movement of how they moved, I don't know about that.
Mhm.
That's pretty weird. Seeing
Yeah.
how these things move in every direction, like you would move your
Seamlessly.
eyes.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they move like you would move your eyes. It's nuts.
So do y'all know Bob Lazar's story?
I don't.
Now
He's
looked them up and ruined all credibility.
Bob Lazar.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
He looks normal.
But the criminal charges he had and like him lying about
Yeah.
his degrees and
Yeah. So
it's like, bro.
So supposedly, for the people that don't know, he supposedly worked at Area 51. They called it, I think he called it Section 2 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a propulsion engineer, supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
that helped reverse engineer an alien spacecraft that the government had on their property. So he's got drawings of it. I'll put a link to it on I'll put it on our YouTube. But
Mhm.
he's got drawings of what he's seen, and they had propulsion. They called them gravity emitters, and the way they would move, and they said they flew the spaceship too. They could get in it and fly it,
What the crap?
and it would distort gravity around it as opposed to propelling itself.
Can you imagine trying to insure that?
God, yeah, that'd be a lot of money.
That would be.
Imagine being the first one to do it.
Right.
First one to hop in, like, hey, I think I got this thing
you
figured
just
out.
go straight into like the stratosphere,
Yeah.
just straight up.
Yeah. So he. Okay, so he was one of those that I wanted to believe.
Yeah.
He's got a really good episode on Joe Rogan. Him and the director that did a movie about this guy was on Joe Rogan, and it's a pretty good story. Supposedly his story's never changed over the 50 years or so.
So
that
do you
he's
think all of the things coming at him is just some kind of government entity
misinformation.
trying to like make his life, just ruin his life, basically.
Yeah. I did see. I know what you're talking about. I did see some discrediting type stuff where people tried to discredit him
As a person or as his story?
both.
Yeah,
Both.
like he didn't work where he said. He doesn't have the degrees that he said he has.
Yeah.
What was the guy we listened to that you're like, this guy's weird?
David Garouche.
Yeah, he was the one that went before the Senate and
yeah.
Congress and gave
A whistleblower story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's still alive, so.
But
yeah, okay. Well, let's get a name. What was his name?
I think it was David Garouche.
Look it up. It was on the thing.
Garesh.
But yeah, he gave his stories supposedly as a whistleblower. Then Rogan brings him on.
Yeah.
This guy seemed way too excited to be talking about.
Sure.
Yeah, David Grush.
Now, the reason I brought him up at all was talking about defamation and some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He did say that he had a bunch of agencies digging into what he was doing, and they made it known that they could touch him.
Yeah.
So they were reaching out to him and his wife and making threats, basically, of if you keep doing this. And who knows if that's real or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
And say
All of this is so hard to know it's true.
Yeah, because you got real stuff, like supposedly real stuff, like this guy going in front of Congress, telling it to the world.
But it brought up an amendment after that, though.
The
Schumer
Act,
amendment came up right after that, where they said, okay, we're actually going to start digging into this stuff.
Yeah. Harry Reid was digging into it too.
He was the guy before all that.
Because this guy, he said that it was non-human intelligent life.
Yeah.
It's all Democrats that want that. What's up with that?
I heard Rubio was on board with some of that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all in the same pool.
That's true.
They're all in the same pool peeing in it.
Rhino, yeah.
They're in the same pool peeing in it.
And it's shrouded reality.
They're all touching each other.
Restaurant reality's in the middle of the pee pool.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, I just put out a meme that looks like that.
If you know, you know.
A cool 97.2 in that pool.
That's
yeah,
right.
but the what was his name again?
Grush.
Grush.
He's got a very forgettable name.
It is. So he went on Rogan and told the whole story, and so he's a whistleblower.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He used to work for the government, which don't trust you there already.
Yep.
Used to work for the government. Comes out, says I'm whistleblowing, tells the Senate, but then when he's on Rogan, there's information that he can't give because he wasn't approved to give it.
He wasn't approved to get it. Some of it, he just felt like it would be a national security problem. He kept saying that too.
It's like,
He's
are aliens not
So
already a national security problem?
Yeah. So I mean, are you a whistleblower or are you not a whistleblower?
Yeah.
That's like saying
You're playing both sides?
Yeah, it's like saying I'm a mechanic, but I don't work on cars.
Well,
It's
he
like
was like supposedly a high up Air Force official and all this kind of stuff, and he left his career, and that's supposed to be evidence. I left my career to be this guy because I felt like I, was going to save the world, basically. And it's
he
like
was super excited.
But then
to
it's
go on
like,
Rogan.
but I'm not going to tell you about this.
Yeah.
And probably won't talk about that.
He seemed like the guy at parties that like wants you to know that he knows things.
I know stuff, guys.
I can kill you with my thumbs.
I can look at you and your liver will explode.
Yeah. And then he
I
just
had a guy one time come up to me. He's like, if I press these two buttons on my watch at the same time, Navy SEALs will come right through the ceiling. I went, okay.
Cool story,
right,
bro.
bud.
Cool story, bro.
Have another beer, my man.
Well, let's go into aliens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there any real physical? I mean, so there's supposed real physical evidence of of UFOs.
Yep.
Yeah. Stashed away somewhere.
Yeah. Is there any of aliens that we know of?
According to old dude, whatever his name is that we keep forgetting, Grush.
Yeah.
He says yes.
Okay.
I don't know. He literally presented zero evidence that that's real, but he said yes.
So some of the crashed UFOs that I seen, they said there was nothing in them.
See, he said that there was remains in some of them, but who knows?
You have that one in Mexico that they keep parading around. Have you seen that? It's
I've
made of
seen it.
clay and dog bones. It's hilarious. And it's like this perfectly straight thing. It's like none of his bones are straight.
I've seen that. It's really strange.
And that's what makes this so difficult to research. Is you got so much goofy garbage, and then you got.
I feel like everybody wants it to be real that they're creating a reality.
What about that stone that just appeared randomly in New Mexico lately? Y'all remember that?
The obelisk.
Yeah. What about that?
I think that was. Now? I think that no. It turned out it was like it was a prank, but I don't know what kind of prank that is.
Who has
put this obelisk in the desert? It's a prank.
Who has a slab that large?
Yeah.
And there's like, hey guys, you want to screw with the whole world?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then about halfway into the trip, they're like, "Oh, this thing's heavy.
Daggone.
This thing sucks. Whose idea was this?"
I wonder how many spaceships that they recover are just like it's just where comets and asteroids hit the Earth and kind of break apart.
Yeah.
And it's like they have different kind of metals on them, so maybe that's why they're being secretive about it. I don't know.
Well, the one that if you're going to believe Bob Lazar was telling the truth, he said it was an old one, and he said that it was more of a spacecraft that archaeologists had dug up. Which is
That's
very interesting. Yeah, he glossed over it and he said it real quick, and even Rogan didn't pick up on it.
Oh, say it again. That what?
They said the spaceship that he researched wasn't like a recent find.
Oh,
it was a dug up ancient archaeological find.
Gotcha. So it'd been buried for some time,
which was super interesting. But like I said, he didn't touch on it.
That's something you hang on for a little bit. You don't just be like, oh yeah, this is probably something from before we knew Tom.
3,000 years ago.
Like, what?
Well, what makes his story hard to believe too, but it also makes it a little more credible, was that the researchers were super compartmentalized. So he was the propulsion expert, and he had a partner. There were metallurgists that looked at it, but they couldn't talk. They couldn't share information. There was, all these different scientists that studied this thing. None of them could share information because the powers that be needed to keep everything compartmentalized to keep the information.
They couldn't leave and like make one or something.
Yeah,
or give it to
sell it to China or whatever.
Yeah. And how many countries do you think have this stuff already? Because like we can't be the
only.
The
big three claim to have something.
Yeah.
So the U.S., Russia, China,
and I wonder. I mean, if that's true, how much of it have they been able to reverse engineer? Like, what kind of technology do they have now? Because I don't really see anything.
I've heard fiber optic came from reverse
fiber optic because it's just
fiber optic
lasers and glass, right?
Yeah, that came from spaceship reverse engineer.
Now it's let me watch videos in 4K.
How much of what we have right now? Because think of the technology boom that we've had since
the 80s,
1900.
Well,
just start from 1900 to now. You can go a little further back.
And that's kind of on Wikipedia. Like, that's kind of where it starts on the.
In the span of the world, we kind of were hunter gatherers or planting, or
for the whole for all of history.
Up until, and then it was like, oh, now we have everything.
Or were we?
Maybe, I don't know.
We didn't do this before.
Possibly.
Maybe
it is possible that we did this before.
Yeah, this is really. Yeah, if you guys ever have time, go on Wikipedia and just look up each one that's documented. It's like through military, government, researchers, like just all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but like just reading that people are saying these things.
Yeah,
and they all similar.
Why did all this knowledge just wake up? And it's like, oh, we got it all now. We can do these things, and it's been just a progression rapidly.
Yeah.
I mean, in my lifetime, we went from having a phone on the wall to having a cell phone to having a computer with internet or without internet to a computer with internet and
a phone.
And then, I mean, it's just progressed, and within 2 years, your technology is garbage.
And even if you had alien technology, I mean, would you want to invest that in the public space, Well, what good does that do? Wouldn't you want to keep people in the Stone Age, comparatively speaking, to the technology that you get?
I don't think so. I think it's all about money. Like you said, you gotta sell it.
Yeah.
So
you got to make something out of it.
Yeah, what they extract. I heard Lockheed Martin had reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of their technology comes from. Again, don't know. Just what I heard.
We're just throwing words.
Yeah, we're three idiots that hear things on the internet. But
hey, and I meant to say this earlier, but people have devoted their entire lives to this conversation.
Yeah.
We've got 7 days in it.
Yeah.
So just know that up front.
And we're all relatively mentally healthy, so there's that.
Relatively.
Not on meds for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to get into abductions, but before we do, let's plug real quick.
Yeah.
ShroudedRealities.com. Got some merch.
Look at this shirt.
Check it out.
Yep.
Y'all see how freaking good that shirt
We
looks?
got stickers.
Skack. We got stickers.
I mean, it's easy to get distracted by the man wearing it, but daggum, look at that shirt.
Looks good right there,
Yeah,
boy.
makes my
Daggum.
body look good.
That's
good on a
right.
40
Makes me feel good.
A 40-year-old man.
As soon as he wore it, it just made me happy.
That
Yeah.
makes me really uncomfortable.
And so
that y'all are saying that.
basically what I'm saying is if you want to be happy,
Turn the lights off.
you need to buy a
This
shirt
is all
that
you need
looks
to be
like this.
happy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's all you need to be. And I gotta fix a screw up. Last week we gave a shout out to your boy Ryan as being the first purchaser. Technically, he was. Technically, the first purchaser was our boy Dalton.
Yep.
That's right.
But
He went in through the back door.
he went in through the back door. It's gross. Can't say
Can't
that.
say that.
Can't
Not
say
before
that.
abductions.
Yeah. So I built the website. First website I ever built. I built a store. Super proud of it. But I didn't publish it yet.
Yep.
What I didn't know is when you're building a website and you build these little side buttons that you click into, you can search those little things and find it if it's there.
So here's y'all's goal or y'all's mission. Just go type random things into our website and see what comes up. Because at this point, we don't even know.
Yeah. Our house is probably on there. I don't know.
So our boy Dalton hits me up first thing in the morning and said, I bought a shirt. I said, that's impossible. I haven't even posted it. How'd you buy a shirt? And he goes, well, Carter told me y'all had a store, so I searched it on your site and I found it and I bought it. And this was like 2 days before I wanted to publish the store.
He's a diehard fan.
Yeah, so
That's
Dalton,
right.
appreciate you,
Day
boy. So
one.
he bought the first one unofficially.
Yep. Ryan
Then
was first official.
It's
Ryan was the
actually
first
more
official.
official. I'm actually going to give him more credit. I think that's more official that you're going to get on and just go look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like maybe it's there.
It's hiding.
Let's find it.
that is
about
true. That
That's
is
more
true.
official.
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah.
That's dedicated to
I'll
the
give
show.
him a sticker.
Yep.
I think we did, didn't we?
I'll give him another one.
Give it another stick.
But we still got shirts on there. So
We
get
still
Shirts
do.
and stickers, yeah.
Get on there.
Check them out.
Check it out.
If we run out, we're going to go get more. We
That's
got
right.
some cool T-shirt ideas we're going to throw out.
Yeah, we do.
Shout out to my friend Celeste. She commented on our YouTube stuff. I heard through the grapevine through some people. She'd been talking about us through some other
Sweet.
people. So I really appreciate that.
Here's your next mission, everybody. Go on there and just talk about us.
Just talk
Just
about
do
it
that.
to your friends.
Say
Search random stuff on our website and then just talk about us.
Yeah, just say these funny boys and they're making me laugh.
Walk
That's
up
right.
to random people and say, "Do you believe in aliens?"
That's
and then
right.
say, "I heard about it on Shrouded Realities podcast."
That's
I think
right.
Mormons are aliens.
Ooh,
Could be.
man.
Mormons are aliens, huh?
The
What,
planet.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know.
They're,
I'm just throwing
they're
it
from
out
a different planet, man. There
Bingo.
you go. Connections made. Episode 8, too. It all connects. Everything's real.
there. The Mormons are connected everywhere.
All right, let's get back into abductions. This
Yeah.
is. I'm setting you up for some softballs, Connor.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay,
Can't say that.
Gotcha.
got,
Well, before we do this, what do you think aliens look like? There's the stereotypical gray with the big eyes,
Yep.
and they're skinny, like crackheads.
humanoid looking.
Yeah.
yeah.
They look very like unathletic.
Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Everybody says they don't need to be athletic because they're so smart.
They just go.
yeah,
the
they
brain
just melt your mind with their
Are we
brain.
saying they have telekinesis? What?
That's what they. Yeah, that's how the abduction people said that they communicated was nonverbal communication, telling them things.
So they're basically autistic. That's what you're saying. Aliens are autistic.
autistic magic somewhere in that realm.
They all are Professor X from the X-Men. Okay,
Yes.
got you.
Yeah. So why do you think like that's universal? Like almost anybody thinks alien, that's what they think.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's not some six-legged figure with, you know what I mean? Why?
Yeah.
Why do they have to be bipedal, humanoid looking?
No genitals, just smooth like a
Yeah,
Barbie.
no pants because they ain't got nothing down there.
Yep.
Shout out to old Applewhite or
That's right.
Applewood.
Applewood.
Oh, Applewood.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could that image have been planted and then that's just what everybody thinks of?
That's what I wonder is like, is this we've been told this what they look like for so long, so now it's like, yep, that's what it was.
Well, even like historical though, like paintings on walls, that's what they kind of look like, is the big head with big eyes and.
Mm-hmm. You're trying to get me down that road, ain't you?
Yeah, but why do they look that way? Let's go there. We're ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, demons.
Demons.
You think they're demons? Okay.
Some,
Could be some trying to look like what they used to. Could be that. Could be some of that
Okay.
Nephilim head.
That Nephilim head.
Could be some of that.
Trying to get elongated.
Can't say Nephilim head.
Too late.
And don't they usually have like
Get some
3
Nephilim.
fingers on each hand?
How many?
3 fingers on each hand?
Six. Well, that's what.
No, aliens.
Yeah.
But when you add them together, it makes 6.
Oh, look at
Oh.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Taking it to that dark place.
So
There you
6
go.
fingers on each
Yeah.
hand.
Well, could be that too.
I don't know. I'm just
So-
spitballing here.
Yeah, so this is a kind of a theory that we had been working on,
Yeah.
kind of accidentally, through the Book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
I think you even mentioned it in the very first episode about about how they came down
Mm-hmm.
from heaven to Mount Hermon to
Yep.
come to the earth to do dirty deeds with women.
Yeah.
To make the Nephilite.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
is what we're seeing now shape-shifting versions of those spirits?
Humanoid looking things.
Humanoid, yeah.
I don't think that they're the initial run. No, I don't think that they're the initial run from Enoch. I think that started a lot of that personally,
Okay.
but I don't think because fallen angels and Nephilim are not the same thing.
No.
The
Supposedly
fallen
the-
angels are
The
According-
Nephilim are the babies of the fallen angels.
yeah, exactly. So the fallen angels are banished until judgment. They're not here.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's not them in the first run for sure.
Yeah.
Those are not here anymore. But
Got them Nephilims.
the thought process is that when the Nephilim died, they're tied to the earth.
Yep.
Mhm. Described
an
as
evil spirit.
Evil spirit.
So
In another realm that we can't see.
I would say it's
An,
not
an earthly realm that we can't see.
exactly. So it's not necessarily
Unless you
a-
take LSD, MK Ultra.
yeah. Well, they're tied together.
Yeah.
You start looking into abductions and stuff like that. These people's names are
Yeah, you're
tied together in
If
that.
you're tripping,
Yeah.
you're gonna think you're being abducted because you're floating.
Well,
brother.
they'll give you trauma brain,
Mhm.
and then they'll tell you
They
whatever
hit you
they
with
want
them,
you to
they
hear.
hit you with them low frequency
They'll
waves.
tell you
yeah.
what you should be remembering from
Mhm.
this,
Mhm.
and what you remember might be that you got abducted by an alien.
and you got touched.
And
Switch your
they're-
personality.
And they're putting
Personality.
and they're putting themselves in the creator position.
Yeah.
Saying that God didn't create the earth. They did.
Yeah.
They've been building this earth and watching over it.
And what did they do? What did the fallen angels do when they got here? They gave everybody knowledge.
Yep.
I think that ties back a little bit to the technology boom we've just had.
Mm-hmm.
I
And-
think that could be possible.
And what is a demon? What is their sole purpose?
Lead you away from God.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Bingo.
There it is.
So
And what does the alien thought really bring everybody to is
God doesn't exist.
God can't be real. We were created by these aliens as an experiment or whatever they think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a gonna deceive regardless.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the point.
how many cults have we seen that this was their premise?
Just talked about one.
Yeah.
But, they weren't fully an alien, but Jesus was an alien type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that just tie back to that phrase, that Jesus was an alien. I think they were using that word like literally, like because
Yeah.
alien just means not of the
Right.
place where it's from,
Yeah.
and they're just using that word literal.
So with that being the case, I don't think that aliens come from another planet 800,000 light years away
Right.
to travel here to just do whatever they do.
Just to
Yeah.
float,
just to float around and
make
be like,
lights.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Just
not
the
trying to
tech-
get they're not trying to get them
just-
TikTok
just
views and be like, look at what y'all see a spaceship.
Just an
Daggone."
international firework. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
So those could be, I'm getting super deep here. Those could be UFOs we're seeing, or just the seed, the trigger
Mhm.
to get you thinking in that mindset that there are aliens out there.
Yep.
Then people start getting abducted.
Yep.
Via the demons.
Could be just a possession.
Yeah,
kind of possession.
situation. And
Well, Go
then
ahead.
and then implanting their theology to pull you away from Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I think that's true. A lot of so I was listening to Michael Heiser, I believe was his name, and he said that he had some friends that were interviewing people that claimed to have been abducted, and everything that they described would be the same as a satanic ritual, what they would do
Mm-hmm.
in
How they-
satanic rituals,
How they were abused.
how they were abused, and the
sexual
trauma
abuse.
In
Butt
the
probes.
the most like what would you call it? What's the word? Not sensitive, but like your most sacred
places.
area, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You know, no square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they would come back describing. But what was really interesting is people discovered that they could speak in the name of Jesus
Yeah.
and it would stop.
Yeah. I was about to say, I listened to.
And an
listen-
alien don't care.
No.
If this is somebody from another planet, they're not
Yeah.
like, oh, dang it, he
If
said
Jesus-
the word.
If Jesus
He
is
said
not
the
real, it's
secret
just
code
a name.
word. Yeah.
It's the third one this week.
So I heard that exact same thing from the same guy,
Mhm.
but then I also heard another interview of another guy, Gary Bates, Australian researcher,
Yeah.
UFO researcher,
Mm-hmm.
and he said the same thing. He said that, and this was coming from non-Christian researchers,
hmm
that when they found out, when people would get scared, they kind of revert back to Jesus in their mind, and then when they would provoke the name of Jesus during the abduction, it would stop.
Yeah.
That's at that point, that's not a physical being you're dealing with. That's a spiritual being you're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Yeah.
I hate
So-
that these things happen to people, but I love how everything comes back to Jesus in
It
some
does.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It always comes back.
hmm
And I think that's the best part of the whole thing is
And-
like you can point back.
To me, what we learned from the Book of Enoch, and like all the stuff we've been learning about the Nephilim, it all makes sense, because you always have all these thoughts, even as a Christian growing up, of things you just don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of push it
Put your
aside.
you put your blinders like, oh,
Put
it's
your-
not real.
Yeah, put your
Doesn't
blinders
exist.
on. I don't know. It's got this stuff in
Didn't-
the Bible, but I don't know enough
Yeah.
about it to
So
have an opinion either way. And then all this stuff, UFOs,
Mm-hmm.
demon possession, stuff we've learned from Enoch,
And it's
it
almost
all makes it just whoop.
yeah,
and it
come
almost
together.
feels like when you put your blinders on and you don't try to learn about it, and if someone says something, you almost like your faith almost gets kind of like
shook a little.
shook a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to dig into these things and find God in those things
Yeah.
to cement your faith.
Yep.
And that's what I've been trying to do, especially with like we can do another one about dinosaurs and how that plays.
Okay.
Yeah,
But just the concept of like all the things in our reality is like
Mhm.
trying to connect that back to God.
Yeah.
Because if you try to just put your blinders up, you're just
actually
gonna
pulls
get-
you away.
It pulls you away, and you're gonna get hurt.
So to take it back to that other place where they were talking about, saying the name of Jesus and all that, but they also came away with things that they were saying, and a lot of them were putting a hybrid baby in people and things like that.
Kind of like the fallen angels
The
did.
fallen angels did the same
Oh.
thing. So
There you go.
They trying
we're
to bring it back.
we're talking about like the days of Noah.
Yeah.
I mean, those same things were going on during that time,
Yeah.
and what were they doing? They were making a hybrid
Yeah.
baby. So these people that didn't say in the name of Jesus are coming out saying, I've got a baby in me, I've got a baby in me, and they don't, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they haven't manifested in a physical form according to what
Yeah.
they say.
And
But
what is
yeah.
with these? Just go back to these aircrafts. It's like, why are so many crashing? You would think if you have the technology,
Spirits, yeah.
why are you crashing on
Yeah.
Earth? You have the ability to travel space and time by light years, and you're like, oops,
Oops, a Canadian goose took me down.
Yep.
got took out by the Canadian geese?
Get out of here.
We let Sharon drive.
I've dodged every bit of space dust to get here, and I hit a goose.
You know what I'm saying? Like all
Yeah.
the crafts that crash here. I mean, just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the names that the alien beings used was, interestingly enough, the same name as some of the fallen angels that was listed in
That's interesting, isn't it?
in Enoch.
Hmm.
And
So-
and none of these. I
Probably a
bet-
coincidence.
I mean,
Probably.
I would like to think a lot of these people who were abducted didn't know about the Book of Enoch or anything in it, the
No,
names
no.
in it or anything.
Mm-mm.
So
Most don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
And out of 4 million alien abduction stories, people that have been that claim they have been abducted, only 4 of them did the Jesus thing. 400 of them did the Jesus thing. So that leads me to believe that most of the alien abduction people probably don't know.
much about anything.
Yeah, they don't know.
do you think that they're seeking it out though?
I think that's a key to it.
I do too.
If you're searching, if you're looking for UFOs or higher power in some other place,
You open yourself up to it.
you're opening yourself up to the demons
Well,
to come in and
Mm-hmm.
play their games in your head.
Even old Grush or whatever this dude's name is. I can't remember what it is.
David.
I will forget that this
On
guy
YouTube,
exists.
I'm gonna put his name up every time.
Yeah.
His
I'm gonna
face
be
every
honest.
time, just a face.
I will forget this dude's name forever as soon as we walk out of this room.
Yeah.
But he was even talking about in earlier times before we were pushed with aliens and all this kind of stuff. We've kind of been in our society and in our culture, we've kind of probably swayed that way because of what media showed us and all that.
Yeah.
But he said that he believes that they would be showing up in different forms than an alien to these people.
Yeah.
So there was probably more quote unquote sightings that were happening earlier in time,
Yeah.
but they weren't presenting themselves as aliens. They're presenting themselves as aliens because it's a great deception
Yeah.
that's going to pull you away from what the truth is of, well, yeah, we were probably put here by aliens.
Yeah.
So,
From what I heard too, even the UFOs were described different throughout history.
yeah.
Mhm.
The Native Americans seen metal canoes with people in them. The Greeks have stories of seeing flying shields.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that
The
were-
Romans too, same.
Yeah, fighting in their battles.
Mm-hmm. And also there's always been upticks in sightings during like times of big wars.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if these, I guess we can start calling them demonic beings.
yeah.
They kind of feed on that and suffering during
Yeah.
war, and that's why
Yeah.
they show up more. I don't know.
Everybody in wars they know they're about to meet their creator, so they're looking for that
Any kind of like,
spirituality.
Wasn't it while we were testing the A-bomb is when we started really seeing
yeah.
upticks big time?
Yeah,
Was
They're
when
probably
we
thinking,
started
"Oh,
testing during
Suppose-
Roswell and all
That's
that.
what the government tells us.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
but
let's touch on that. Like, why are they letting all this stuff out? Is it on purpose? You think?
Yeah,
Because why let like that footage,
they're just trying to be honest with you, man. That's all.
that footage of the Tic Tacs flying from 20 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
why let that out? What purpose does that serve? You could just not let anything out, and it doesn't change anything.
I think there's really only one good reason, and it's because we've either figured out what that is and what it does.
And it's not gonna hurt them.
It's not that it's not going to hurt them. It's maybe we've used whatever that technology is for our own benefit, and we've got it locked away and just go, whenever we need to use that, we got it.
They're just dropping
little nuggies.
I think that would be the only reason that makes sense is they have figured out how to use that technology, and they don't think other people have.
And if they did, that's
So they're kind of backhandedly telling
It's like, hey,
telling the Ruskies.
like,
I
we
think,
got it.
I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, come on.
Yeah.
We're going to tell our people that we've that these are real because guess what? We got it.
Yeah.
It's like, good. You try.
And I want to know what weapons they have created, because like we're still. I mean, people say certain governments say they have like hypersonic missiles that can travel, around the world in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of that, but like I wonder what other kind of like technology that we don't know about that they have that they've created, because we already have the nuclear bombs. We already have. I mean, we're just short of laser beams. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what it is they're putting laser beams on top of their freaking heads.
Yep.
Laser beams on top of their
So
freaking
we
head.
actually have sharks with laser
That's
beams
right.
on their freaking heads.
All I ask for.
Oh my
All I
goodness.
asked for was laser beams on top of their freaking
I
heads.
did not think we were going to quote Austin Powers.
You're
today.
welcome.
That's
I
great.
saw it. I saw where we were going. I'm
Yeah.
like, sharks with laser beams
See,
on their
we
heads.
tried to show prep.
That's right.
Austin Powers wasn't in the show
It
prep.
wasn't in there,
No,
but
just lots
y'all
of
are welcome.
probing jokes. But
Yeah.
we really haven't done that many,
Not
honestly.
too many.
Yeah.
We have
a little bit.
We have
Just like
but
3 or 4.
yeah, we could
5
have
maybe.
done a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a probing party.
The whole probing party called the boys. It's
boys.
a probing party.
It's the Canadian alien.
Yes.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm getting in me spacecraft.
Oh, sorry.
Oops, sorry. Do you think there's rules of traffic in space? You think there's like a 4-way that like
There's a
Tooting the horn. Let your buddy over.
yeah.
it's just Auga horns is all they've got. Auga.
So that does bring up a good point. Gary Bates and I'll post a link to the video in the description. But the one of his factors that aliens come from another planet is because of the distance. Like there's,
Yeah.
it's physically not just physically, but I mean it's impossible
yeah.
for us to think that another being on another planet. Not going to argue if there are things on other planets. Maybe there are, maybe they're not.
Yeah, they say there's a trillion galaxies out there. We
Yeah.
have no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah.
They're not going to come here and hang out with us for
No.
the last
Not to just probe you.
centuries. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not the
Just to
point.
touch you.
Yeah, because he said that the closest possible life-bearing solar system that we know of is the Andromeda Galaxy,
Mhm.
and it's 800,000 light years away.
Yeah.
Think about how much time that is.
It's about 800,000 years if you're going the speed of light.
Yeah, if you could go the speed of light.
Yeah.
And then if you could go the speed of light, any little bit of space dust, particle, comet, asteroid
Done.
would
Destroyed.
rip you apart at that speed.
But if they've got a different, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here because who knows?
Yeah.
But if they have a different type of material that they're dealing with, do you think that maybe that would negate that situation?
Yeah, or
And
some
then-
kind of gravity deflector to just
Yeah,
kinda
I mean-
clear the path. in
And
front
like
of
out
you.
of all the planets, and let's say at the maximum 1 trillion galaxies, why Earth? We are the most uninteresting thing in the universe. Honestly, it's like we're
Well-
happy with farts and cats. Okay, we're not. You can't.
It's uninteresting to us because we live here.
Yeah,
Because
it's like they heard we have Netflix or something. It's like we're
oh,
going.
yeah.
They got Hulu.
they just got 5G, guys. Let's get there.
Yep. Oh my
Yeah, so it
goodness.
just doesn't make sense. The distance, the time, the space,
I don't think it-
the effort.
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a school trip. I don't know.
To me, it all points back that it's all of this Earth. Maybe a different realm, maybe a different dimension in
Yeah.
this realm, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not some planet or some alien named Zoltar from North.
El
You
Xenu.
know?
Yeah. Did y'all have anybody did y'all look into dimension stuff at all while y'all were looking at this?
It came up, but I didn't.
Let me go ahead and tell you, I'm an idiot. Like they're sitting there talking about this, I could not comprehend
like
any
5D
of it.
triangles and the way everything's refracting
Yeah, I
against
mean,
each other.
using
and
a tesseract, and then you got like 4D, and then 5D, and then you got
everything's
I mean,
inside of each other.
Yeah, you've got and how they all interact with each other, and
So were
I
they?
have no idea what you're talking about.
So were they saying that was kind of an explanation of?
Somewhere,
Like
yeah,
able to pop in and out of our reality.
yeah. Maybe they live in a different dimension that we
On top of
can't
us, maybe?
see.
Yeah. Well, that fits into the
The demon thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a different
'Cause
dimension.
They live in a different dimension than we do. They just kind of
They can pop
They
in
pop
and out
in.
of it.
Because in the Bible, they like these little G's or however we want to describe them have dominion, right?
foreshadowing.
They have, or what's the word? They have.
It's not dominion.
have-
we have dominion.
Yeah, but they have. What's the word I'm looking for?
Power.
They have power
yeah.
in this world, so
Yeah.
that power could be. Hey, we get to float in lights above the ground.
Shapeshift.
Hey, don't joke about them lights, man.
Come in.
Yeah, mess me up.
You need therapy on that
Little
Yeah.
PTSD.
I don't know what that was.
Oh
Weird.
my
Don't
goodness!
think about it too much. I don't want you to get
Dude, my hair's already
abducted, and
no, my hair's already starting to frizz out.
Dude.
that's another thing too. Of this whole subject, even some of the stuff that I learned a lot. Why is it all spooky music?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
why can't it just be
Crazy
like
hair.
information?
Yeah, like the one with the guy that you just
Michael
mentioned,
Hauser.
Michael Hauser. We'll share that video. Great video.
It's
He's
fantastic.
got tons
He's
of good information.
Super smart.
But they do all this editing to make it sound spooky. No, we don't need that.
So now,
that
now it feels
defects
fake.
away from it.
Now
Yeah,
it feels like it's just a
feels like
fiction.
an ancient alien
Feels like
show.
yeah, that's where I was going. It feels like ancient aliens, and you're just waiting on aliens.
Did you try to watch an episode of Ancient Aliens?
No, I didn't.
I watched 15 minutes of one episode, and I was like, I can't do
It's
it.
in the same thing as Ghost Adventures for
Yeah,
me, man. I
it's
just can't
background
do it.
noise.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not even background noise. I don't.
It doesn't
want
even get that title.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't even. It does not enter any of the speakers in my house. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
You ready to wrap?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to plug, and Steven probably will too. We'll put links on our description. So
Yeah.
whatever you're listening or watching on, check it out. We'll hit some sources, some books we're reading, stuff like that. Hit shroudedrealities.com.
Get you a t-shirt, get some
Get your
stickers.
T-shirt, please. We need some
Like, subscribe,
Mhm.
comment on all of it.
Yeah, I'm
on
sure
everything.
everybody's got opinions on this. So
Yeah.
drop a comment.
Yeah, comment some stuff you want us to talk about that we haven't yet.
That's true.
Give us
yeah.
some ideas.
Yeah. If we can get there. I've had some people try to pluck stuff at us, and I'm like, ugh, it's a
Yeah,
little,
it's a little much.
I want to study for months to get this one. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's wrap it up. Appreciate it. This was fun. Catch us on the next one. For Steven, Connor, I don't know where I was going with that. Connor, Joey, and Ruby, the podcast dog. Appreciate you.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.